Hi guys, it's 5 to 9 in the morning. It's the 28th of January 2015. Bit different today. This is to paraphrase one of a few people I've got a great deal of respect for, Terence McKenna. If the truth can be told so as to be understood, it will be believed. Human history represents such a break with the natural systems of biological evolution that preceded it. But humanity must be some type of mutation, some type of exception to the normal progress of planetary expansion. Unlike any other species, humanity can anticipate futures, see patterns, make conscious choices. For the first time ever, responsibility for the evolution of a species has been placed on the evolutionary material itself, us. We can continue in our current morally downward spiral, warring on each other, perpetually trying to be bigger or better, or we can go beyond. The truth is that for 12,000 years we've been lied to, and we've been fed divisive conditioning designed to alienate us all from our true birthright, that we are actually psychic, all of us. We've been restricted, limited and shaped by a kind of herd dominator culture that sought to impose the lowest common denominator on us all. Herd mentality has become the norm, whether it's gender, colour, race or religion that sets the boundaries. Fear, paranoia, insecurity, sin, sex, guilt are the tools in which the dominator culture maintains its control. And the placebos of cars, TVs, computers and money are just droplets of appeasement, designed to enmesh humanity in materialism, leading to greater division between the haves and the haves not. And of course religion has been the single strongest tool in the hands of the dominators, imposing centuries of hardship and division amongst people, resulting in irreconcilable differences worldwide with regard to what passes for truth. Since the beginning of time, dominator philosophy has isolated people and imposed behavioural attitudes and ideas based on the notion of disempowering individuals and bringing them to a mental state where blind obedience is the norm. For 10,000 years they've promised us utopia, and they've delivered a toxic, polluted, overpopulated planet. Enough is enough. All theologies, all religions have this notion of an end of the world built into them, and this sense of summing up the totality of human knowledge is what we're going through now. But it isn't going to happen the way we've been led to believe. We're at the end of history, not the end of the world, and not the end of civilization. We're privileged to have been born at the biggest period of concentrated and compressed change that we or our ancestors have ever known. And that change is primarily happening in our hearts and in our minds and in our attitudes towards ourselves, each other and the planet that we live on. We're witnessing an end of time culture, if you like, and the children are growing up different now. They're growing up more aware of their intuition, their empathic, their psychic potentials, their sensitivity of what is right or wrong, and it's a rebirth of integrity that we're part of now, both planetary and personal. And in all cultures through all times there's always been one man or one woman who dared to dream, to imagine the future, to go into mystery and imagination and in defiance of convention and try and bring back some semblance of the future to the herd. So whether they be shaman or witch, musician, astrologer, poet, artist, sorcerer, healer, these people go into the future. They map out the rhythm signatures and the vibrations of the future in readiness for species expansion. The planet's actually talking to us. It doesn't matter whether it's talking to us in organic, natural, geophysical formations or whether it's talking to us through other indigenous species such as crop circle formation or stuff like this. But the message that the planet's sending us is transform your concepts of communication. And for 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 years we've lived and prospered by adherence to a limited way of life, denying the intuition and the imagination. We've lived the lie that society has sanctioned in order for species survival. But now there's enough of us, we can move on. We can move into a world defined by empathic sensitivity, by compassion, and by what intuitively just feels right. Because if we don't, well, you have to ask yourself, what kind of future is it going to be for our grandkids? Do we collapse in on ourselves? Does the species collapse, as perhaps it did happen some 12,500 years ago when we were all right-brained? Or do we move beyond existing boundaries into a more multi-dimensional future where the only limits really are those of the imagination? The timelines are drawing in, the options are running out, the fences are coming down. Do we acquiesce to the dominators and become even more insane, contributing to the ruination of the earth, the domination of nature, the suppression of the feminine and other spiritually bankrupt policies? Or do we eliminate fear and guilt and the sanctions that television, newspapers, corporations, governments, churches, etc. have imposed on us? And do we move into a clean world of our own making? Secure in our sense of identity, yet aware of our function, our space, our role, if you like, in a society based on community, love, consciousness expansion, empathy, sensitivity, and a sensuality to environment. Because if these things aren't part of our future, what kind of future is it going to be? For tens of thousands of years, our ancestors have sat around campfires dreaming of this moment where we can transcend consciousness and move into a more multi-dimensional existence. And it's like the jewel at the end of time. It's coming. It really is. And it's going to happen soon now. I may see it in my lifetime. I hope so. But the purpose of humanity so far has been to prepare ourselves for some type of jump of consciousness. It's imminent. Back to proper astrology tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed the rant. Bye.